with us and work out a local agreement then. Yes, they are. I've sat down in their office and they all told me that.
I hear things that they say too.
Well, you're only hearing with one ear though. You're not listening with both sides.
How'd you know I'm hard of hearing in one ear?
I could tell that.
Well,
we'll have more discussions, Joe. Okay.
You just say and spell your first and last name for me, just for a mic check.
Spell it, my first and last name?
Yep.
J-O-E, Joe, Pinardi, P-I-N-A-R-D-I.
Perfect. County Board Chair.
County Board Chair.
All right. Well, can you just tell me a little bit about, about the vote? It was a close one.
You want me to go back to the whole thing when it was expiring the 26th of January?
Yeah, because
they didn't give us the $10,000 that they were supposed to pay it, $20,000 every 2 years. They didn't make the payment that night. They told us the night, like it was a Thursday evening before this, and it expired on a Monday. He called me down to the office and says the headquarters told them not to spend any more money, so what do we do now? Okay? And he asked, so I sat down with Mike Sari, our administrative coordinator, called Opal Roberts, the chair of finance, and I went down there with a proposal of $10,000 per year, $10,000 this year, $10,000 next year. They're $20,000 right back at us. They emailed it to Florida, through the headquarters, and Florida rejected their offer, our offer. They came back with a counter offer of skipping 1 year, giving us $30,000 in 2016, covering for 15, 16, and 17. It's not really, we're not really out any amount at that time. If they come up with the $30,000 next January, we'd be right back to square one where we should be.
Okay. But
I signed it, but it wasn't actually approved until full county board approval. But this was the day before our county board meeting. We didn't have time to even put it on the agenda to act on it. I guess if we would have put it on in an emergency situation to act on it, it still wouldn't have been enough time for anybody to look at. We had 24 hours to basically look at it. Now we looked at it for 24 days and we still didn't come up with a very solid answer.
Sure.
Some people wanted to look at it even 6 months longer, but anyway, this is what we did. We approved it. And if GTEC stays on board, if they still proceed with the mining like they're saying they're going to, they're trying to get the mine plan laid out the way they're going to change the total layout of the mine, apply for permits. It's going to be probably 6 years from now before this option expires, when they actually have to engage in a lease option. At that time, if we denied it right now, we would be out to $60,000 that we would be collecting $10,000 per year. If they came back 6 years from now and decided that they were still going to mine, or if they just pulled out, they might just pull out. We don't know. If 10,000 is going to break the bank, it isn't a very good bank anyway. That's my opinion. If 10,000 is going to break a $1.5 billion mine, then I guess it's destined to be.
So just so I understand this correctly, they're okay. So they gave you $40,000 to lease this land to them, correct?
Up till right now, yes.
Okay, so you guys have $40,000. Now for the next 3 years, starting in 2015, so this year they would have had to pay you $10,000.
They would have had it. They were supposed to give us $20,000 more January 26th, and that would have taken them for 15 and 16. They extended it to 17, so it's $30,000 they're going to give us in 16. It's going to cover 15, 16, and 17.
Okay. So now what you agreed upon tonight was that, okay, you don't have to pay us right now, but pay us $30,000 next year.
January 26th of 2016.
Okay, and then that'll make up for these last...
That'll catch them back up to speed.
Okay, and then, but they then, even next year in 2016, they still have a lease agreement with you. So then,
that lease, yeah, that's like for
next year.
6 more years out yet before the actual lease agreement is supposed to be taking place when they actually start mining.
Sure. I guess how are you?
If and when.
Yeah. I guess what are your guys' thoughts on that? Because there's been some reshuffling, and if they're kind of like, well, we're not gonna do anything right now, I guess how does that make you guys feel?
They're trying to. They showed me the pictures. They're laying it back out totally different. Instead of having one hole, they're going to do 4 small holes, trying to do a less impact on the wetlands. This is their philosophy. And anyone who's investing money right now, I can't, they're the only people knocking on our door. I can't just argue and call them a liar.
Sure. All right.
You got to try and listen attentively anyway.
Sure. Do you guys have?
If I had other people knocking on the door, it's fine.
Sure.
Maybe General Motors wants to come up and build Silverados in our park, but we'd love that too.
Do you have any other
I
questions?
think I'm pretty good.
Okay. Vote was what was it? 7 to 6 or 6 to 5?
8 to 7.
8 to 7. Okay.
7.
8 to 7. Favor.
Joe?
Okay.
And as
They
far
don't-
as
If they don't exercise that option next year, then they don't owe you anything for 215, do they? If they don't exercise that next year?
you mean if they don't pay us for next?
If they don't exercise the option next year,
No.
they
if
don't
they,
owe you anything?
the amendment says if they pay us in 2016, that's going to cover 15, 16, and 17.
Right.
But
What if they don't-
$30,000.
Yeah, what if they don't exercise that? Do they owe
If
you
they don't-
anything for 2015 then?
If they don't, then I guess we're out $10,000.
So they could basically have a free ride if they don't exercise.
If they don't exercise it. If they do exercise it, then we're back up to 10,000 a year. I don't know whether they will or not. It's hard to say. I guess the consensus of the board members is they wanted to give them another year to try and put things together. That was some of the consensus I was getting in there. But I don't know.
I don't think I have any more questions at this point.
What's
Thank
your
you.
reaction to the vote? I mean, you voted. You
My
know,
reaction, I was in favor of it.
Okay.
Very good.
I was, actually, I originally signed it before it was approved.
Right. Okay.
That's why I brought it back to the table for full board approval.
No, there wasn't any kind of was there amendments made then? I guess I was unclear about that. There was nothing new added or taken out of the original lease.
No,
Okay.
the rest of the lease is all, the rest of it's all still staying the same. It's all status quo.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
See you around, Joe.